Alrighty, so it's spring training now. These are the guys that we have on the spring training roster. Once again, if you would like to see who's on the spring training roster, I'm not going to go over every single one. You can pause if I'm going by too fast for you to see them. As I'm scrolling through all 60 of them on the spring training roster, nothing too exciting here, just some guys we want to play at certain positions, like we want Smith to be the DH, we want Cruz to be getting his third base position up. And then also we want Xander Bogaerts to be learning how to play second base. All right, we get through like 2 games of spring training, and Michael Busch just tore a back muscle. He is going to be out for 4 months. Not great. One of our better bench bats. Alrighty, so we have gone through here and made our roster down to 26 players. These are the pitchers we have, the rotation of Soroka, Gilbert, and Dunn, then Key and Williamson. And then in the pen, it's Mills, Fletcher, Garabitos, Dean, Aquino, Bryant, Ben Tompkins, who we picked up in the offseason, LJ Newsome, and then Jose Rodulfo is going to be on the big league roster to start the season for his major league debut. On the hitting side of things, it's Dylan Dingler catching, Evan White first, Bogaerts is at second, O'Neill Cruz at third, Marte at short, Lewis in left, Kelnick at center, Victor Luna in right, and Dom Smith is the DH, while Keith Ron Moss is the backup infielder, and Jonathan Clase is the backup outfielder, while MJ Melendez is the backup catcher. What are we, 6 games into the season here? We're 3-3, but I forgot to take a look at the preseason top prospects list. Doesn't look like we have anybody on the top 10, but as far as the bats, we have, we have Luna and Kennedy, both on the top prospects for the hitters, and then for the pitchers, we have ourselves nobody. Nobody on our team is actually on the top pitchers because they've all graduated into the actual Major League roster. Alrighty, so we are here at May 1st. We are through the first month of the season. As you can see here, Logan Gilbert actually won the April Pitcher of the Month award, so that's good to see. And we actually have a call-up we want to make here because if we look at our pitching staff, Brandon Williamson has not been great through 6 starts, so I'm just not trying to power through that. He's going to be sent down. And one of the guys who I was possibly planning on calling up was Charlie Newweiler here, but he actually just tore a flexor tendon in his elbow. And he is out after only pitching 3 games in AAA. But Brandon Williamson here is going down to AAA. And we're just bringing Patrick Pridgeon here back up to the big leagues because he makes the most sense. And they actually throw him right into the rotation, so we'll see how that goes. But this is what our pitching staff looks like through 1 month of the season. Soroka, Gilbert, Dunn have been pretty solid. Key has been, I guess, struggling a bit. Yeah, hasn't been the greatest. We might have to make a decision on him soon, but I'm confident that he'll power through it and get down to like a 4 ERA. Like if he puts up like stuff like even last year it kind of wasn't that great. Hopefully he figures it out though. And then in the bullpen, there's Mills, who's obviously killing it. Fletcher's gotten off to a kind of shaky start. Garabitos has been great. Dean's been solid. Aquino's struggling. Bryant's been really good. Ben Tompkins is struggling, which is not good to see. And then LJ Newsome is even struggling, but Rodulfo seems to be pretty solid in the pen, actually. And then as far as the bats go, if we just sort this by WAR, I guess, Jared Kelnick already up to a 1.6 WAR. He's doing his thing. He's got his 159 WRC plus through a month on the season. Marte has been hitting well to start the year, once again being a solid player for us. Evan White has gotten off to a pretty solid start as well. Hopefully he's able to continue it throughout the whole season, unlike last year. Dylan Dingler has been not great, it seems, at the plate. Who else do we have here? How has Xander Bogaerts been? He has been not great. It's been, pretty lackluster, so that's not good to see. O'Neill Cruz, I know he did get off to a really hot start, but it seems like he's cooled down. Like, he had 6 home runs, like, 10 games into the season or something like that. But he is very much cooled down. That is not good to see at all. Hasn't been doing defensively. Not great defensively either, so that's also not good to see. And then our man Victor Luna here has been incredibly bad to start the season. My scout now thinks he's only going to be a 50 potential player. And, it's hard to argue with him considering what he's done in the major leagues. Well, he actually is walking quite a bit, so maybe he's just, maybe he'll figure it out as the season goes on, because right now he's walking a ton, he's not striking out a ton. Maybe that'll help him figure it out, but I mean, right now, through 1 month of the season, Victor Phoenix Luna is not getting the job done. And LJ Newsome was just diagnosed with a dead arm for 1 week, so we're just going to throw him on the IL just because. Just throw him on the 15-day IL, and we're going to call somebody up from AAA. That somebody is going to be Colby Halter, who has had a pretty solid start to the season in AAA. 24-year-old who we picked up in the, I believe this was the Soroka trade, wasn't it? If we, no, it was the Art Warren, Freeman, yeah, it was the Pridgeon and Meyer trade. So yeah, let's see what we got in Colby Halter. And LJ Newsome is back from his injury. We're just going to throw him on a rehab assignment for a couple games just to make sure he gets geared back up. And it looks like we also only have about a week left on Bush's injury to where he will go down and rehab as well. Another thing that's worth pointing out is that Dominic Smith has not been hitting well either. He's the DH, his one job is the hit. Classic. We trade for a guy who hits very well, and all of a sudden he's like, I'm just not going to hit. But we're not going to give up on him because we have him for the next 2 seasons, or this season and the upcoming season. And, you know, maybe he'll just have a really good second half or something. I'm not going to give up on him through a month and a half on the year. And then look at that. Just in the time that Newsome was on the IL, O'Neal Cruz has his WAR above negatives, and it's not negative anymore. And he's got his WRC plus up to around league average. So he's been going on a tear a bit here. He's got his slugging into the 500s. He's got 12 home runs. I mean, the thing with O'Neal Cruz is he's going to hit a lot of home runs. He's just probably not going to do much of else. And I think we're going to throw Victor Luna back down in AAA, and we're actually going to call up... We're going to call up somebody straight from AA in Joe Burrows, who just was absolutely incredible in High A last year. He's been really, really good to start the season in AA. We're just going to call him straight to the big leagues here. Switch hitting outfielder, was our second-round pick in 2024. Let's see what we got here. So yeah, now we've got Joe Burrows playing in left field and Kyle Lewis playing in right field. And that's not good. Jose Raldufo just got diagnosed with a rotator cuff strain, so he's going to have to go on the IL for 7 to 8 weeks. It's also Ben Tompkins here has not been looking too pretty here through giving up 3 home runs per 9. Just giving up basically throwing batting practice out of the pen. So we're going to throw him down to AAA, let him work on his stuff down there. We're also going to do the same thing for Aquino because he has not been good this season. His FIP and his OPS against aren't the worst. I think we'll stick with Aquino for a bit longer, but we are going to call up 2 other relievers since we obviously just had to send somebody down, and then also somebody on the IL. And this actually means that we can call, I forgot that Newsome was on a rehab assignment down in AAA Tacoma. He's gotten 6 innings down. That was 1 game, though. Well, yeah, we'll just call him up. So Newsome's going to come back up to the big leagues here, and then we're also going to... We are actually going to send down Aquino because there are 2 guys I want to call from AAA here. So Aquino is going to go down to AAA, and then from the AAA team, there's Patrick Wicklander, who through 32 and a third innings pitched has been very good in AAA, so we're going to call him up, reward him up to the big leagues. As a lefty, he needs to be added to the 40-man. We're actually going to remove Jay Groom from the 40-man just because I highly doubt he's going to get claimed, and if he does, oh well. So Patrick Wicklander is going to come up to the big leagues here as a lefty. And then the other guy we're going to call up is actually Ding Bong Che, who has been the closer here in AAA, and he's been very good. So might as well call him up, just see if we can get something out of him here. And of course, they throw him as a right-handed specialist. So Ding Bong Che up as a right-handed specialist. This is what the rest of the team looks like. And they actually have Wicklander in as a starter, which I guess I don't mind. He had 5 stars in AAA, had 3 quality starts, so... let's just see how he is. Why not? And we have now reached June 4th, which is the first-year player draft this season. And as you can see, we're sitting at 31 and 33 on the year. We're 7 games out of first place in the AL West, and we are 5 games back in the wild card. So we're not sitting in a very good spot right now. Once again, Dom Smith has been hitting better as of recently, which is good to see. What are his splits looking like? Yeah, June, he's been, well, we're a couple games into June, but he looks like he's been getting better as the season's been going on, essentially. So he was really bad in April, improved a bit in May, and now he's just looking like he's going to be tearing the cover off the ball in June through the 3 games that he's been played, if you can even really diagnose anything from that. And we've got O'Neal Cruz here, who once again is back. He's still playing very well. He's got 14 home runs, 11 doubles, a little bit above average league. A little bit above league average WRC plus and also OPS plus. Kyle Lewis is doing his thing where he's hitting around league average. He's hitting a decent amount of home runs. And he's just doing the thing that he always does where he's a solid corner outfielder on the last year of his deal, as we know. Xander Bogaerts here is up to a 90 WRC plus. Still not hitting the greatest. Is he been hitting better recently at all? Yeah, it looks like not really. No. He's been pretty subpar the whole season, so that's not good to see. We might have to throw him on the bench or just hope he gets through it. And then there's Marte, who's still doing his thing. That's good to see. I would like to see him get on base a bit more, but I'll take what he's doing as our starting shortstop. And then there's also Jared Kelenic, who, of course, is just doing his thing, just being absurd. So we're just going to hop into this first-year player, Jeff. We have the 23rd overall pick this season. The OSA mock draft has us taking center fielder John Myers. Looks like he's a solid defensive outfielder, also extremely fast. Possibly could be a decent bat, lefty-lefty at a Mizzou. Maybe if he's available, we take him. But let's see what happens. All right, so it's time for our pick here, 23rd overall. Our scouting director thinks we should take that guy from Mizzou in John Myers. There are a couple starting pitchers here who have 50 potentials that I do want to take a look at, like this Cody Brackett guy, who I'm liking. Lefty from Louisville. He can get up to 55 control. Looks like he's going to have 4 really good pitches, 96 to 98. I'm thinking I prefer Cody Brackett here as opposed to John Myers. Yeah, we're going to go with Cody Brackett, the lefty out of Louisville, as our first-round picks, 23rd overall. Now we move things on to the second round, and our scout thinks we should take Caleb Garmany, a right-handed pitcher out of Cal State Fullerton. I do like the fact that he's a ground baller. Looks like he's going to be around an average pitcher. There's also this Devin Bloom guy, who my scout is not as high on. OSA is pretty high on him, though. But my scout does think he's going to have 3 extremely good pitches, pretty good control, pretty good stuff, and he's a high school senior, not even 18 years old yet, from Maiden, North Carolina, it seems like. Or Maiden High School, North Carolina. Or there's this Caleb Garmany guy who my scout thinks we should go after. OSA isn't very high on him either. I think we are going to take Devin Bloom here because not only is he, I like what my scout thinks of him, and also, or at least what my scout thinks of his pitches, and I like that OSA is very, very, thinks this guy's going to be insane. He also has high work ethic, high intelligence, high loyalty, high adaptability, and low greed. So I do like that. So we're going to take Devin Bloom here, not even an 18-year-old lefty from Maiden High School in North Carolina. Move things on to the third round, and my scout thinks we should take Julio Victoria, a third baseman. I'm not particularly sold on this guy. I actually prefer this guy. It looks like he's going to have about league average contact. He could develop a really good eye and avoid K. Probably more of a corner outfielder than anything else, but I'm liking this guy, Tony Quintero from Virginia Beach. We're going to take him. Move things on to the fourth round now. My scout thinks we should take Ben Taylor, a righty from Oklahoma State. I say we are not taking Ben Taylor. And instead, we're going to take this 18-year-old first baseman, Ronnie Lockjaw Chisholm, out of, he's committed to Texas A&M. He went to Allegheny High School in Sparta, North Carolina, it seems like. So we're going to take him. We're going to take this guy and hope his bat can develop into something. And then in the fifth round, my scout thinks we should take Chris Horn, a high avoid K, decent contact guy who plays third base from Chapel Hill. I don't really like his defensive rating, so I'm not going to go after that guy. I actually like this guy better because it seems like he's just a better version of that UNC guy. Not as high of avoid K, but much higher gap power. Basically the same contact. A much, 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 much better fielder, can play literally anywhere in the field as well at a high level. That's good to see. Also very fast from Marblehead, Massachusetts, dude. Went to UCLA for some reason from Marblehead. We're going to take this guy, Dave Cooper. Move things on to the sixth round. My scout thinks we should take Rich Brophy. No. I will instead be taking this guy who can play all over the place, is a decent power bat switch hitter from Arizona State, Josh Reed. Now we are on to the 7th round. My scout thinks we should take Jeff Schulte, righty from Virginia. I say not really interested. I am interested in this guy who's going to have decent home run power and eye. So we're going to take a pick here with Mike Hall from North Carolina. Now we move things on to the 8th round, and I was just looking at this guy, Kurt Watts. My scout thinks we should take this guy, another power-hitting first baseman that could be something. We're going to take a chance on him, another high school guy. Now into the 9th round, my scout thinks we should take Corey Fisher, a right-hander from Georgia. Not really sold on this guy. I am liking this guy, though. Sean Bergio, switch-hitting middle infielder. Looks like he can play some outfield as well. More of like a left fielder, though. Left fielder, maybe some center field. But he's got a high avoid contact, or high avoid K, decent contact. Let's just take this guy. It is now the 10th round. My scout thinks we should take this Chris Horan guy again from UNC, who I did not like earlier, and I still don't like. I do like this high school outfielder, Jared Gawan. That is just a tongue twister of a name there. From Texas. We're going to take this guy. Now I'm just going to take a shot on this catcher here with 75 catcher ability because I do want to get a few of these guys into our system. I'm actually going to take this pitcher here just because he's a knuckleballer. He's probably never going to be anything at all, but we're going to take him. We're also going to take this pitcher who probably is never going to develop any control just because might as well take a chance on him. And now we are really getting down to where there's not too many guys left here. Like there's this Bobby Williams guy who's probably more of a DH corner outfielder guy. Also, I don't like the fact that he has low work ethic. There's this Robbie Vanderhyde guy who's probably going to be a really good defensive outfielder. Or there's this double high work ethic intelligence guy, Kevin Fenton from Chicago. Looks like he went to, what is it, I forget their nickname. Aren't they like the Flames or something? The University of Illinois Chicago Flames or something like that? Let's take this guy, why not? And now we are into the 17th round. There's nobody like jumping out on me that I need to take here, so we're just going to auto-draft the rest of the draft. And then we're just going to send Colby Halter back down to AAA just because we need to make room for Michael Bush, who is ready to come back from his rehab here. I don't want him to spend too much time down in AAA. And we actually need to make room on the 40-man here, so who are we going to take off the 40-man roster? I guess it makes sense to take Neuweiler off the 40-man roster because he is going to be out for an entire season. So here we go. Michael Bush is now on the team as the backup first baseman and backup DH. All right, that's not good. Dom Smith is now out for 2 weeks with a strained lat as we are up into June 18th now. Now, I was going to call up Victor Luna, but it appears he is out for 1 to 2 weeks with with chronic back soreness because he went down to AAA and was just absolutely, dominating the AAA level here. So I was going to call him back up, but he is not an option to be called back up. I also off-screen sent down Michael Bush to AAA because he just was not performing, and Christian Franklin here was performing very well back-to-back seasons in Tacoma. So I called him up just to see what we have in him, and he's only gotten 24 ABs in the big league, so you can't really judge him quite yet. And right now they've got Joe Burrows just sitting there as the DH, so I think I'm just going to leave this what it is right now. We're just going to have this as the backups and everybody that's on the team right now. But we are instead going to send down Patrick Wicklander to AAA and then call up 2 pitchers. We're going to get Ben Tompkins back up in the big leagues because he's been pretty solid in AAA. Let's give him another shot because we traded for him to be a guy to be in the big leagues for us, so why not bring him back up? And then ideally, the other guy we call up is J.J. Feeler here, who was our 5th-round pick in 2024 out of Vandy. He's a lefty reliever who's kind of cruised through the minor leagues for us, and he's been really good in AAA. The thing is, I don't have a spot for my 40-man right now, and I don't really know who I would want to clear off the 40-man. So instead, we are just going to give Ismael Aquino here another shot in the big leagues, as he has been absolutely dominant in the minor leagues, so we're just going to bring him back up. And now here's what the pitching staff looks like. Patrick Pridgeon takes over as that number 5 starter. And here's the bullpen, whereas in the lineups, here is what that looks like. Joe Burrows is in a DH right now, Kristen Franklin is in left field, and Clase is the 4th outfielder. Alright, so we just got the expiring personnel contract info message. I've gone through and offered all the minor league guys here we're able to offer, and I also extended Kyle Torgerson here, who is our trainer, just because I felt like he's been a solid trainer, so might as well bring him back. And now we're also going to re-sign Peter Woodworth, who has been our pitching coach. The pitching has been extremely good the entire time. We're just going to extend him for 2 years. Might as well. He accepts it right away. Now, we have to make a decision on Ozzie Guillen here, who I'm thinking I am going to extend, just because we've made the playoffs his first 2 years here. His first year here, we won the World Series. We're just going to extend Ozzie Guillen. Yeah, just bam, bring him back. And as you can see here, we're up to June 26th, and we are sitting at 41 and 41 on the year. Not really in a great spot. We're 4.5 games out of the wild card, 7 games out of the AL West. Not, like I said, not a great spot to be in. We're 4 and 6 in our last 10. Hopefully we're able to turn things around here. It looks like Joe Burrows is really not doing anything. I think we're actually going to send Joe Burrows down to AAA and let him, because he was dominating AA, so let's just get him geared up in AAA. And Luna is actually back from his injury, so we're just going to call him up back to the big leagues, and hopefully he's able to, now that he's been in AAA, getting geared up, hopefully he's ready to actually play in the big leagues now. And now this is what the lineups look like. Luna's actually in a DH, Lewis is in right, and Christian Franklin's in left, while Clase is the bench outfielder. Alright, Dominic Smith is back, so we're going to throw him on a rehab assignment down to AAA. Alright, it's July 1st, and we need to make something happen here at our second base spot, because Keith Ron Moss is our backup infielder. He has been really bad as a backup bench bat. That's redundant, but then also Bogarts has also been very bad. So we need to figure out something here. Moss is going to go down to AAA, and I'm thinking Juan Cornel here is actually the guy we might go with. He has had back-to-back really good seasons in somebody else's organization. I think this is the D-backs organization. They did not bring him back for whatever reason, and then we got him in a trade, didn't we? Yeah, we got him in the Zach Pop trade. So this is this Juan Cornel guy we got. He's been getting on base a ton in AA this year, so I called him up to AAA. I feel like he's worth giving a shot in the big leagues just because of how well he's gotten on base. The only other option that we have in AAA is Brainer Bonacci, who is currently on the 40-man and has been, he's getting on base a decent amount, but he's also not slugging. He's not getting on base as much as the other guy, the Juan Cornel. So do we give Bonacci a try, or do we go with Cornel? The thing is, if we go with Cornel, we would have to find a spot on the 40-man to get somebody off. I actually just happened to look here at the free agent list, and Luis Guillorme here never got signed by anybody. So we're just going to throw him an offer on a minor league contract, and he does not want that. Okay, he'll take that. So we'll just throw him an offer on a minor league deal and get him geared up, and maybe he'll be ready to come up to the big leagues. And just in the meantime, Brainer Bonacci is going to come up to the big leagues just to, see what he can do. So there's what our backup looks like in the infield. And it's international amateur time, and our scout actually really, really loves this guy. He thinks he's going to have an 80 contact, 70 avoid K, 55 home run power. I am all in on this guy. Just right off the bat, give him $5 million. Boom. Give you that. Leonardo Shorty Salina, please sign with me. And Guillorme just signed his minor league deal, so we're going to have him play a few games in AAA, just get ramped up, and then we'll probably just have him straight in the big leagues after that. But I don't want to throw him straight into the big leagues. We want to get him at least some games in AAA to get warmed up. And then also Leonardo Salina has just signed his deal, so now he is a member of our team, currently in the international complex. All right, so Marte just went down with an intercostal strain. He's out for a week, so we're going to throw him on the IL. And then even though he's only played 4 games, he's got 17 ABs. He's been hitting really well in those 17 ABs. Guillorme is going to come up to the big leagues here, and in order to make room on the roster, we're just going to take Bonacci off the 40-man. If he gets claimed, he gets claimed. He's never really going to be anything for us anyways. And then Keith Moss is just going to come back up to be the backup infielder. So this is what our situation looks like right now. Guillorme is playing second, and Xander Bogaerts is playing shortstop just for now. We've got the Ozzie Guillen Crow popping up here. I'm not a quitter. When I want to quit, I'll do a lot of stupid things and make sure they fire me and get paid. King shit right there, man. Alright, so Rodulfo is back from his IL stint, or he's going to be going down to AAA on his rehab assignment now because he was out for quite a long time. And if we take a look here, this is sorted by MLB. In his 30 ABs he's had in July in the big leagues, Victor Luna is getting on base a decent amount and he's hitting. So that is good to see from Victor Luna, so we're going to leave him up in the big leagues. But we also have Christian Franklin, who's also been hitting very well in his 100 AB since coming up from AAA. So Clase is actually going to be the one who goes down to AAA as we bring Dom Smith back up from his rehab assignment. And the All-Star Game rosters have been announced as in the American League. We have Dean. Dean made it as a reliever. That's good to see. Soroka did not make it this year as a starter. None of our starters did, it appears like. So Dean made it, Garabitos made it as a reliever, and then among the hitters, it doesn't look like, yeah, it was Kelnick and nobody else made it for us on the hitters side of things. Alright, so today is the start of the second half of the season, post-All-Star break. We are sitting at exactly 500 on the year at 49 and 49, 5.5 games out of the AL West, and 4.5 games out of the wild card. So we still have ourselves a chance to do either of these, but we're not exactly in the best spot right now. Once again, our pitching has been very good, defense has been very good, it's just we're not scoring as many runs as we would like. We're scoring more runs than we had been last year, but we're not scoring enough. We're hitting way more home runs, that's good to see. We're 4th in home runs. It's just, we're not doing anything other than hitting home runs, really. And just a quick glance at some of the bats who are available here in the trade block. And just sort of by infielders, really the only one that's any interesting at all is Ty France. He's not highly viewed by any scouts or OSA, but for whatever reason, this guy just always hits. He's always got a decent average, always gets on base a ton. He's good for a few home runs. Right now, he obviously has an absurdly high BABIP, but I feel like that would be fine. The thing is, I don't know if I would want to bring him back next season at $8.4 million in arbitration, so that's something I'm kind of concerned about with him. Also, where would he even play is the thing. Because he's listed as a first baseman, obviously we're not going to bench Evan White, even if he is kind of struggling right now. He is our first baseman. Dom Smith is a DH. He obviously could be moved away from that spot, but I don't really want to because he's a guy who should be hitting and is definitely, like, he has a 203 BABIP. Like, he's getting extremely unlucky this season. Christian Franklin is a guy who I would like to continue to play and see if he's going to continue to put up numbers like this for us in left field. Kyle Lewis is doing his thing in right field. We don't want to move him away from that spot. And then even Luna's a guy who, if he plays right and Lewis plays left, if Franklin starts struggling. So I don't really want to pick up an outfielder. It'd be an infielder, but the thing is, where would Ty France play in the infield? Like, I would not mind sending down Guillorme and having Guillorme as having Guillorme as the backup. The thing is, because Marte comes back, play shortstop, would France be okay to play second base? I don't really think so. Like, he probably could, but is it really ideal? No, not really. And the thing about trading for Ty France is we wouldn't even have to give up anything. Like, we could just literally give them somebody like this, who is like, you know, just some random guy we have in AA, had a good AA year last year, but is not having a good AA year this year, and is probably never really going to be anything for us, so he's a guy we could throw on and just get Ty France from that. The thing is, do we want to pay Ty France next year? Now, we could always just, you know, let him walk in free agency if it comes to that, but, it's just, I'm really not sold on having Ty France play second base. We're going to do it. We're going to give them this Liam Deegan guy. We're going to get Ty France. Ty France is going to play second base for us. Is it going to work? Probably not, but we're going to try it. We need to figure out the bats here, and Ty France is hopefully a bat that's going to help us out. And we're making this trade on July 17th, so we are not like on the trade deadline here, but we are doing this trade nonetheless. So Keith Ron Moss goes down to AAA to make room. And Ty France comes on to the Major League roster. We need to make room for him on the 40-man. We are going to take CJ Van Eyck off the 40-man roster because he has not been good in AAA this year, and he is just the most obvious example, or the most obvious one to take off, so we're going to remove him from the 40-man. Alright, so here's what it looks like right now. France is playing second, Cruz is at third, and Guillorme is playing shortstop, while Bogaerts becomes the backup infielder. Not great news there. It appears that Brian Perez has suffered a setback in his rehab, and he will now miss an additional 5 months, so he is not going to be back for this season either at any point. Alright, Marte is back, so let's throw him on a rehab assignment. Alright, Jacob Key has been very disappointing this season, so we're actually just going to send him down. We are going to throw him in AAA. We're also going to send down Ding Bong Che, and even though he has been pretty good in his innings in the major leagues, he's only got 6 of them since he's been up because he's a right-handed specialist. So he's going down as well. We are now going to call up at least one, maybe also an infielder. And just because we need something to help out with the bats here, we're actually going to DFA MJ Melendez. He might get claimed, he might not, but he's going to go down to AAA. And I actually did sign Austin Nola to a minor league deal because he was just sitting there in free agency. So he's going to be a guy who's in AAA for us. Maybe he comes up at some point. We will have to see. But right now, we are going to be calling up Luke Hancock, who is hitting very well in AAA. We need bats, so Luke Hancock's going to come up and play catcher with Dylan Dingler. And just because we need a backup outfielder as well, the other bat we're going to call up is Joe Burrows. He is just dominating AAA, so we're going to call him up here, and he's going to get some time in the outfield for us. And then Jose Roldufo is going to come up here. He's gotten 2 rehab starts. He's looking solid, so he's going to come back up to the big leagues. We're actually going to do a bit of a swap here at Xander Bogaerts. We're going to send to the Cubs. We're basically just swapping contracts at this point, so Bogaerts, who does not have a role on this team anymore, we're going to send him to the Chicago Cubs, and in return, I think we're going to pick up Anthony Rizzo here to be like our bench captain and also first baseman, like pinch hitter bat as well. Or what we could do is, instead of picking up Anthony Rizzo for Bogaerts, is we pick up... Where'd he go? This 30-year-old reliever/starter guy who my scout is very high on. OSA is pretty much the same on him. He's having a pretty good season this year in the pen. I think we could pick him up, and the thing is, we could probably just send down somebody like Aquino or even Aaron Fletcher, maybe even both of those guys, and have that guy in the pen, and that opens up that spot. So yeah, I think we're actually gonna pick up this guy, Enyel De Los Santos. We're gonna pick him up for Xander Bogaerts, and that's the trade we're making there. And then because I want Marte to be back up in the big leagues here, we're gonna call him up from his rehab assignment. And then Aquino is going to be the one to go down, I believe. If we take a look at his major league numbers, yeah, he's been getting rocked in July. We're just going to send him down to AAA. And then even somebody like Aaron Fletcher has been not performing for us in the bullpen this year. So I don't know. We'll decide on him in a second. But here's what our arms look like here in the big leagues. Want to switch this to MLB arms. So Soroka, Gilbert, Dunn, Garabitos is actually in the starting rotation now with Patrick Pridgeon, and then the bullpen is Mills, Fletcher, Dean, De Los Santos, Bryant, Tompkins, Newsom, and Roldufo. Newsom has not been great this year, which is not good to see. Also, Tompkins hasn't been great. I think he's been better as of recently. If we look at this, sort by major leagues, yeah, he's been much better in July, so that's good to see. And then this is what the lineups are looking like now that Marte is back. Dingler catching, White at first, France at second, Cruz at third, Marte at short, Franklin left, Kelnick in center, Lewis in right, Smith is the DH, and Luna is a bench bat along with Joe Burrows. And I think this is when we're going to do this. We're going to call up J.J. Feeler here. My scout doesn't think the highest of him, but he has kind of cruised through the minor league system here. He's been very good in AAA. We're going to call him up, and we are actually going to DFA Aaron Fletcher just because... Let me see how Fletcher's been doing recently. Yeah. June and July, he's been getting rocked. So Aaron Fletcher, we are going to DFA him, make room on the 40-man roster here for JJ Feeler, who we're going to bring up to the big leagues. His first major league stint at age 23. So now this is what our arms look like in the bullpen. Dean and De Los Santos are now the setup guys, and then Roldufo, Feeler, and Bryant are the middle relief, while Newsom and Tompkins are the long relief guys. All right, so Kansas City has just claimed Aaron Fletcher. He has served us well for a few seasons, but just not this year. So Aaron Fletcher is now going to be on his way to Kansas City. Hopefully we don't end up facing them in the playoffs if we end up making the playoffs this year, which right now, not looking too good, as we are 4.5 games back in the wild card, 7 games back in the AL West, because this division is just so tight. We're in last place. So I don't think we're going to be making any other trades here at the deadline, but I think that's what we're going to be rolling with here, because I don't want to make any huge moves here, as we're a team that's not guaranteed to making the playoffs here. But I feel like if some guys start turning things around, and if we maybe try to break through here, we could possibly be a team that makes the playoffs. So we'll just keep rolling with what we have, and hopefully we have a big second half turnaround. All right, it is August 1st. We have sealed our roster's fate here. Are we going to go on some huge second half run, or are we going to miss the playoffs? Hopefully we go on a run here.